Hey everyone, it's Anthony back with another video, all bundled up in my face covering. I am just about to walk onto Cataract Lake Trail. This is the Lower Cataract Loop Trail. Just doing a vlog. I'm out here just to go on a hike as part of my little birthday celebration. Turned 34 today. So gonna do this and then have some plans later on tonight with some friends and family. So yeah, this is the parking lot here, and then I'll flip it around so you can see the beautiful mountain area. It's very, very green today. But yeah, you can see hopefully you can see maybe off into the distance there's a waterfall. Let's see if I can zoom in and see a little bit better. But yeah, so I'm out here just to go on a hike, and then also I'm actually here for a photo shoot for some products. As always, I can't go on a hike without snapping some pictures of some products. So this is going to be a photo shoot specifically for Supergoop sunscreen, and then I also have some products from the brand Sunbum. So I may be trying to get everything done today. I might do this trail. It's a loop trail. I think it's like 2 or 3 miles. I might do this trail and then unload the first batch of the Supergoop stuff and then go around a second time to take some pictures with the Sunbum products, because I have a lot of Supergoop to snap photos of, and I didn't have enough room in my little backpack here to do all both the Sunbum and the Supergoop. So I've still got some Sunbum products in my car that I just didn't have a chance to I just couldn't cram them in my backpack in this first round. So I might do this trail twice. It's not an incredibly difficult trail. I think it's rated as moderate. But yeah, so I should be able to get 2 rounds of it in, a couple hours or a few hours, be able to get 3 rounds done. So anywho, I'm gonna go on this trail and I'll come back to you guys as I see some interesting stuff that I'd like to share, and then along the way I'll be inserting the photos from the photo shoot, or at least some of them just as a sneak peek. Otherwise, you'll need to be on the lookout for my Supergoop reviews and Sunbum sunscreen reviews to get the full all of the pictures in their entirety. I'll just include a few sneak peek ones. So yeah, it's kind of hard. You can't see the lake from here, but it's just over that little hill. So yeah, I'll come back to you guys once we get to that point in the hike. All right, bye. So this isn't too far into the hike, but there's a really pretty stream that comes off of the lake here. Very, very nice. They just added this bridge here. Is brand new. It used to be that you would kind of come down a little bit of an embankment, and then you just cross this really, really simple, like just a few logs kind of thrown across it, and then you just had to kind of, hop, skip, and jump your way over. But with the increase in snowfall during the winter, that just means that these little rivers and these lakes get super full, and they just get a lot higher, I think, than maybe they have in previous years. So there was a lot of washout, and I think that little jump through, I think it might have even come down here, and then the logs, and then kind of up here. But yeah, that little jump through, they ended up, I think it got washed out, so they had to replace it with something a little bit more substantial. But yeah, I go on this hike a few times a year because, like I said, it's one of the prettier hikes that I've been on. It's not incredibly intense, but it's just moderate enough that you feel like you get a good workout, and it traverses so many different styles of kind of like mountain scenery. So right now it's kind of like meadowy, and you kind of have the fields and stuff, you know, kind of hilly. And then we're gonna, here's the lake here. We're gonna go around this entire lake. It's one big loop around the lake. We're gonna go up kind of on that rocky area. We're actually gonna go up over that and then back down through the trees. So that's kind of what the trail looks like. But yeah, there's people that come out here to fish, and you can go kayaking. But yeah, you get this kind of meadowy area. Some areas are a little bit more rocky, some are more in the trees. So I just like it because you get a taste of pretty much a lot of different types of hikes all in one hike. So yeah, that's it. I'll jump back in once I find my first spot to snap some photos. Bye. All right, so I found a spot to take a couple photos so far, but I wanted to show you this area. This is kind of the more flat area, but I love these little, they look like, they're bushes obviously, but they kind of look like little trees, and they're all about waist high. So it looks like you're just kind of a giant in a miniature forest a little bit. I see this little bunch of wildflowers down here, so I'm gonna see if I can throw some products down there and snap some photos. Bye. Okay, another little pit stop. Just kind of coming through that meadowy area into just kind of some more rolly hills, but there's a whole field of columbines, which is the Colorado state flower, which just such a pretty flower. It's got those kind of lavender leaves with then just, or lavender petals with then just some white, and then that yellow kind of starburst thing in the middle. Let's get a little bit closer to one. It's getting a little windy, but they're just such a pretty flower. I'm not gonna jump in there to take any photos, just I think because they are, you know, a protected species. I guess everything here is protected, but I just don't feel comfortable traipsing through the columbines to snap some photos. So we'll wait till we get through this little kind of columbine field before I snap a couple more pictures. But this is kind of a little runoff down here of the lake. This area is really packed full of mosquitoes because this water is just kind of super stagnant. And it's just kind of a little like overflow, and then it just kind of lives here year round. So yeah, bye. All right, so we're a little bit further into the hike. You can hopefully see the waterfall a little bit better. Let's zoom in. So yeah, there's the waterfall there. Fairly loud now, but this is one of my favorite intersections of this hike because you kind of get a good view of the entire lake from here, or at least this part of the lake. It goes further back from where we started, so we'll actually get maybe a slightly better view once we are up in those trees. We're hiking all through that area, up over that little rock slidey area, and then back down to the parking area. So there's some hikers way out there. You can't see them on camera, but they're way over there. So we're gonna keep continuing down this path through those trees, out of the trees, and then back through. So yeah, hopefully I can snag some more photos. This leg of the trail it doesn't have a ton of pull-offs, and when it does, they pretty much just dead end right at the lake, so there's not really a landing to kind of stop. So I'm just gonna keep on pushing through. I'm trying to find, like, this might be a good spot. It's just some rocks to like place some things on. But once you get down over this edge here to the lake, it's kind of steep. There's not really anything to do there as far as setting up photos. So I think I'm gonna have some more luck once I get into those trees down there, because it gets kind of flat and there's some little pull-off areas with some downed trees and logs that I can set things on. This leg of the hike isn't necessarily conducive to doing photo shoots, so but I might throw some things on this rock and see what we can do there. Bye. Okay, so You might be able to hear it a little bit more clearly now, but we are getting to where the waterfall kind of intersects with the lake. We're gonna cross over it eventually. We don't get obviously that close, but we get close enough where you get some pretty good rapids and some mist kind of coming off of where the waterfall kind of hits the base of the little valley. This is an area where I'll probably do the majority of my photo shooting, just because, as you can see, there's lots of like little pull-offs, little kind of man-made paths that aren't the designated trail where people have gone in to go fishing or I'm guessing camping. So there's just some more space to stop and really set up. Like that log might be really great to do a little photo of the whole Supergoop family of products. And the trail itself just gets wider, so it's just a little bit more comfortable to pull over, whereas before it was kind of narrow. If you stop, you're kind of getting in the way. So yeah, I'm gonna snap some photos probably right up here and just around this area, and then when I come back, we'll be at the bridge that goes over kind of the waterfall leading into the lake. Bye. All right, so I don't have my gimbal out, so because there's some rocks and stuff, I just want to make sure I don't drop my gimbal or anything. But here we are kind of at the landing point of the waterfall. It's kind of hard to make out, but you can kind of see up there, it's kind of close to the landing area, and then it kind of all comes down here. We're going to cross that bridge eventually, but I think this is a really good spot to try to snap some more photos. So it's just really pretty. There's kind of these little alcoves where the water kind of comes off into. It's very calm. So yeah, I think I'm gonna snap a couple photos, maybe even right here in this little piece. And then, yeah, you can climb or kind of bushwhack your way further up to get closer to the waterfall. But I don't think that's what I feel like doing today. You can see there's another part that comes down here. So pretty much this whole area is the waterfall kind of coming down into here. So yeah, there's also another trail called Upper Cataract Lake, and that is where you can actually, see where the waterfall starts. So you end up hiking all the way to the top of that bluff and it crosses over. A couple years ago I went out there and the bridge had been washed out, so we hiked and struggled our way all the way up there, only to find out that the path was closed. So we had to turn around and come back. And from what I remember, they're still, even if, you know, it's been several years, they're still having some issues with keeping it from being damaged because of the water flow. So I don't know if I'll be going up there today, but this log here is enormous, so I'm gonna snap some photos on it, and then we'll keep going on with our hike. All right, bye. Okay, not sure if you can hear me, but just crossing the bridge now. So you can see there's a pathway up there. And then it continues on the other side of the bridge down here. So pretty narrow little bridge. I was gonna snap some photos of some products on the railing, but I think it's just a little too risky to be putting plastic products and stuff right there, because, you know, if the wind picks up, it might blow something over, or if someone decides to walk by while I'm snapping photos, I don't want it to be a situation where I'm literally dumping plastic bottles full of sunscreen into the river and into the lake. So I'll try to keep it safe, but This is another area that might be nice for photos, kind of up on this rock. So I might snap some pictures here. It's going okay overall as far as the photo shoot goes. There's definitely less spots than I was hoping, and there's not a ton of people, but I typically like to do that, you know, snap my photos when it's nice and quiet because it's just kind of awkward. So I don't know, we'll see. I might be able to snag some more pictures right here. But other than that, I might just finish up the hike and then maybe try to find some spots elsewhere today to take pictures. But it is just very pretty. There's a bridge up there. I love this hike. I typically come up around this time every year, so yeah, that's that. All right, so we're kind of out of the waterfall slash foresty area. You can see there it is kind of behind us. So once you move out of that kind of foresty area, you kind of come into this grove with these really interesting plants, and then you can kind of see the rest of the lake off in the distance. So it's kind of what we're working with now. Got some good shots in. I think a bit of a lesson learned for me is I brought a lot of products with me. I brought pretty much the entire Supergoop line that I had available to me, which was the majority of the products except for some of their baby stuff. Like their kid and baby line, I didn't have all of their various shades of like setting powders and stuff. I just have the shades that I thought would work for me. I don't have their setting spray because I already reviewed that, and I don't have their matte screen because I already think that their unseen sunscreen was already kind of matte, so going even more matte than that I don't think would have worked for me. So yeah, I'm missing a couple of products, but other than that, I brought the entire line with me, and it was just kind of hard to like, I'm quickly trying to do photos just because the mosquitoes are crazy and there's people around, so I want to make sure that I'm maintaining social distancing and not like getting in anyone's way. So it was like, wait, did I take a picture of that one? Did I include that one in this group shot? Did I do this? Did I do that? So I felt a little rushed, and I think it would have made more sense to maybe bring about half of what I brought. There's a nice kind of scenic look of the lake. It's just very pretty. And then we're about to go into this aspen grove. Up there in this area is typically, well, occasionally parts of the way through the year, this will just be all sunflowers. It's just a big sunflower meadow up into that hill. But you have to get here at like exactly the right time of year. It's too early right now for that. I think August, September is best. And then by October, it starts to just get cold here and they go away. So they're here and then they're gone. But it's just really pretty. But anyway, like I was saying, I think next time I'll just do like half, maybe maximum 10 items. Cause right now I'm sure I have like 15 at least. So maybe like 7 to 8 items, products to do a shoot with, and then do it maybe another lap around the lake and do another set just to kind of keep things a little bit more organized. And then I feel like I go to grab for something and I have to like unpack my entire backpack. You know, like let's say I wanted to take a picture right here, like, ooh, this is a good spot. I've got to unpack everything and then pack it all back up and then keep moving. So it's just a little cumbersome with the amount of Supergoop products I brought, but I did get some good shots. This little aspen grove in here, it kind of breaks up and then comes back and then breaks up again, but this might be a little nice spot to to snap some pictures. And then once I get up to that rock field, I'll check back in with you guys just because I want you to kind of see what it looks like on this side of the lake. So before, we were basically hiking up in that little hilly area, and then we came all the way around through the waterfalls up here and then back down. So we're officially on the other side of the lake, headed back towards technically the parking garage, but this is pretty much halfway point, or parking lot. But this is kind of the halfway point. It gets turns into more aspen groves, and then it kind of gets rocky and a little bit more sparse. But this is another really nice part of the hike. Gets a little strenuous up here because we kind of climb up the side of that rock slide area. We kind of zigzag our way to the top of that and then over it. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys once we get to that more rocky area and I snap a few more photos. Bye. All right, so here we are at that kind of rock cropping, kind of landslidey. Oh, look, little chipmunk. I don't think you can see it. But yeah, this is kind of the area that I was showing you from the opposite end of the opposite side of the lake. So you can kind of peek here through the trees. We were walking, you can see where that little gray rocky area is. I took some photos down there. So that's where we were previously. And then the trail is kind of right there along that ridge line and goes all the way down and around. So it looks pretty big, but this hike, like I said, I only think it's like 2-3 miles around. It might be a little bit longer than that, but it certainly isn't that difficult. This is actually kind of the hardest part because this is kind of the highest point in the entire hike. So it gets a little rocky up here, and then you can see it kind of leads all the way down into the water there. I remember this is one of the first hikes I came on when I started getting into hiking. I've lived in Colorado my entire life with the occasional 1 to 2 year stint in some other states. I've lived in Nebraska for a year. I lived in Indiana for 2 years. I lived in Hawaii for a couple years, but Colorado is where I was born and raised and where I call home. But I never really got into hiking until I was done with college and started hanging out with some people that were more outdoorsy. Otherwise, I just wasn't very active in general. So this is one of the first hikes I came on. Oh, wow, you can see. So we were all the way in there. You can see the waterfall coming down. So that's where we were. We hiked all the way around this lake. So yeah, this was one of the first hikes I came on, and I'm also scared of heights. So I had a rough time with hikes like this. Ooh, I am scrolling you the wrong way. Hikes like this that have kind of a fairly steep drop off over the side here. It just kind of, you know, goes right down into the water. So those used to kind of freak me out. Especially this kind of part right here where the trail is just kind of haphazardly over these rocks. I didn't have a lot of fun, and in fact it took some convincing for me to even, like right here, see where the trail kind of breaks off and goes down. Just convincing me to even come past here the first time was a big deal. But now it's just like, I don't know what it is. I think part of it's the fact that I started taking up rock climbing, mostly indoor, but I've done some outdoor, and I've just kind of slowly been working through my fear of heights. So going on hikes like this that have like steeper drop-offs and those types of things are a little bit more approachable for me now. But there are still some hikes where I get to a certain point where it's totally open space. I think I don't have as much of an issue because there's bushes and trees around, but I've been on some hikes where there's no trees, no vegetation, it's pretty high up, and the trail's super narrow with just a drop off the side of just rock. And I'm like, oh no, if I slip on this, there's nothing to catch me, you know? So those hikes I will sometimes bail on. We'll get to a certain part, I'm like, you know what? That is as far as I'm gonna go. So I wish you all the best on the rest of your hike. I'm gonna go explore elsewhere. So it hasn't happened too often, but there's been a couple times where I'm like, see ya. But I'm curious to see now that I'm a little bit better about heights or about drop-offs and stuff, and I think I just feel more sure-footed too. Like I feel like my balance has improved since I've been climbing. So I'm wondering if I might be a little bit more willing to take a hike like that on. So yeah, we're coming up to the end of this hike. As far as the actual hike itself, it dumps us onto a park ranger like service road, and then you finish the last part of the quote-unquote hike just walking that service road back to the parking lot. So it's not a short jaunt on that road. It's actually probably a good half mile or so, but it's nothing pretty. It's literally just a service road. But yeah, that's that. Let me flip you around. I haven't really put myself on this video much. It's just been landscape because it is really pretty here. But yeah, I may or may not come back. Actually, I will come back. This isn't the end of this video because there is a, let's go here. I want to explore. This is not the path, but let's see if there's a place to maybe snap a photo or two up here. There is a restaurant in town. Silverthorne is the town. It's also Dillon. They're kind of sister towns, but they both butt up against Dillon Lake, or Dillon Reservoir, which is not this lake. It's another one. And they have a brewery in town called Pug Ryan's, and they have an offshoot restaurant and bar that's a tiki bar. So it's called Pug Ryan's Tiki Bar, and it is right on the water, right in the marina. And it's a tiki themed kind of place, but it's more just like kind of bar food. I think they have some tiki drinks maybe, and some kind of Hawaiian, Polynesian island style appetizers and food. But other than that, it's just burgers and stuff. It's kind of like a mashup between just bar food with like a Hawaiian twist. So I want to check that place out, and I'm thinking the marina might have some good spots to take pictures, especially for sunscreen, like on the water, maybe with boats in the background. So I think that might be an interesting place to stop as well. Let me flip you around again, because this is kind of the most picturesque view you get from here, which is kind of one of the like I said, up here in this rocky area, it's kind of one of the highest points on the entire hike. But down there is kind of the beginning of the trail, and so we followed this water line all the way. You can see the little line of the trail here, all the way around. We went all the way to the waterfall, back around through this rocky slab, and now we're here. So yeah, it's just very pretty up here. I love the views that you get from up here. The lake is very serene. The waterfall's very peaceful. There's no path, but that little landing down there looks really interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna hike down there though. I was hoping to get a couple more shots. Maybe these rocks, this rocky area will be nice. But I'm always looking to get as many as I can, and it's kind of quiet up here, and I'm off the trail, so I'm not causing a scene by stopping. So maybe I'll just hang out here for a couple minutes and snap some more photos, and then I don't think I'm going to show you any more of the hike. Like I said, once we get over this little ridge, turns into a service road that basically runs all the way back down to that point down there, and that's where we end up back at the parking lot. So I'll probably connect with you again, or jump back on again when I make it to the parking lot, with any final thoughts about the hike. You can see some people. Maybe you can see them. You see the little movement down there? They are like down there. Oh my gosh, my forefinger is causing an issue with the focus. But Yeah, there's some people down there. There's some more kind of coming through the trail right there. So it's an absolutely beautiful hike. If you do get a chance to come here, it's called Cataract Lake. This is called the Lower Cataract Lake Trail. It follows the water line. And this is about 30 minutes outside of the town of Silverthorne, Colorado. So Silverthorne's a super popular kind of point of entry to the Rocky Mountain I-70 area where you Interstate 70, where a lot of ski resorts are. So Breckenridge is off of I-70, Vail is off of I-70. So Dillon and Silverthorne are kind of your entry point to that if you're headed from Denver into the mountains. So there's like an outlet mall. It's kind of touristy. You know, it's got a lot of little resort condos and stuff. But this is about, I want to say 20 miles or so north west of Silverthorne. So a little bit more secluded and out of the way, but not super far away. From my house, this is about an hour and 45-minute drive. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna snap these photos and we will catch up when I finish up this hike and we're in the parking lot. Bye. All right, so I was gonna just do a wrap up when I get to the parking lot, but I figure I might as well just do it now. This is the service road, so I mean, it's pretty. It's got some tall grasses and stuff, but I mean, other than that, it's not like life-changing to see. But it is quiet, so I figured I can gab it up without making anyone look at me weird for talking to myself. But yeah, so I'm gonna get back to the car, hop in the car, drive into town, and then we'll catch up again when I make it to the Pug Ryan's Tiki Bar. Probably as I'm approaching it, I just kind of want to show you what Lake Dillon looks like. And maybe try to get some more photos of the products. So yeah, you can start seeing the cars. We're just about coming up to the parking lot. But yeah, depending where I post this, I do want to mention a couple things about the products that I'm currently using as far as sunscreen. Right now I'm using the Supergoop. It's their Play Everyday sunscreen. It's SPF 50 with sunflower extract. Using that as my body sunscreen, and I'll get to it more when I do my full review, but I used it for face and body for about a week, but started to notice I don't think it was necessarily causing breakouts, but it was definitely aggravating what was there. So as I put that sunscreen on, about 5 minutes later, my blemishes would be a lot angrier. They'd just look more red, more inflamed, and that didn't really seem to go away. Because that sunscreen is waterproof, it just lasts and lasts. My skin was pretty irritated from sun up to sundown as I used that product. It has quite a bit of essential oils. It's a pretty fragrant product. It smells excellent. It's got this kind of spa quality, kind of herbal scent to it, but it just wasn't very conducive to my face. On my body, I've been having zero issues with it, and I love it because it's pretty lightweight and absorbs really nicely as compared to other body sunscreens I've used. So I'm using that for my legs and my arms, back of my neck. And then for my face right now, I'm using the Neutrogena. It's their sport sunscreen, SPF 70+. I'm actually shocked by how well that sunscreen is working. Let's flip this around. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked by how well it's working. It just absorbs so nicely. It just feels really, really good on the face. And it just it leaves a little bit of a greasiness, but after just a couple minutes, it becomes much more of a normal kind of matte finish. Not matte, but like kind of a satiny. It's not completely matte like some of those other products that are almost powdery. So it's a little shiny, a little sheeny, but it's not too intense. But 000 white cast. It feels great. It lasts. It's completely water and sweat proof. I'm I'm honestly blown away by how well it works for a US-based sunscreen that is under 10 bucks. I get them on Amazon for like $8.97 each, and I believe I want to say it's 55 or 60 milliliters. So it's about an average size, but for $8, it just is working so well, and it layers beautifully, and it's got that higher SPF. So I honestly, when I used it, I was like, well, this is going to be another one that I'll have to finish on my body or give away or something like that. But I've been loving it. I've been using it for about a week now. So yeah, that's it. I'm not going to chat it up while I'm in the parking lot. I'm going to finish up, and we'll see each other at Pug Ryan's. Bye. Okay, so we're at the marina. I just grabbed a table at the restaurant, but I asked him if I could walk around while I waited. So there's a little shaved ice place. I might swing by over there after my little lunch. But yeah, I just figured I'd walk around. These are all private docks or private walkways, so obviously you have to have a code to get in to access the boats. But yeah, really cool little marina bathrooms over here. You can see some condos back there that kind of butt up against the water. I'm gonna ask, I know there's a spot where you can go in you can kind of walk up to the water for like swimming and stuff. I just have no idea where it is. So yeah, I'm gonna head back to the table. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, this is Dillon Lake. It's obviously a lot bigger than Cataract. I don't know how many miles around it is, but it's one of the larger lakes up the I-70 corridor, if not the biggest one. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna head back and go get myself some food, and that's it. Bye. Hey everyone, so I'm back at the house, finished up lunch at the Pug Ryan Tiki Bar. They've reduced their menu. They've really kind of they used to have lots of appetizers and kind of a more robust menu, but now they're down to like 5 things that are pretty straightforward. You've got a burger, a hot dog, nachos. It's like it's bar food essentially, but they used to have some more like island themed things. The best I came close to is they had, they called them their tiki tacos, which were essentially just 3, I think it was tilapia. I'm not sure what the fish was, but it was blackened with some avocado and stuff. They were actually a really good size. I was thinking they were gonna be little mini tacos, but they were pretty big. Plus a bag of chips, and then I got a drink as well. So grabbed that, and then it started to rain. So I grabbed as a little dessert, a little birthday treat. They have a snow cone place. I think I showed you all in the video, but grabbed a snow cone, but ate it in my car because it was raining, and I just decided to come straight home. So didn't really get a chance to snap any more shots. I got a good portion of the Supergoop products in photograph in some form or fashion, and I'm sure you've seen them thrown in throughout this video. But I still have a few more that I need to snap photos of. That'll happen eventually as I start to use these products. And then I also brought with me a bunch of Sunbum products, and I didn't even get a chance to take those out of my bag to do photographs of. So I'll have to do another weekend where I finish up the Supergoop and also do some of the Sunbum products that I have as well. But I didn't realize I didn't say like a final farewell until I got home. I was like, wait, I didn't even like sign off or anything. So real quick, I just want to do a quick application of the sunscreen that I am currently using, because I mentioned it on the hike. It's the Neutrogena Sport Face Oil-Free Sunscreen 70 plus. Like I said, I'm just really impressed with this product because it doesn't seem to have any white cast. It feels fairly comfortable on the skin. it has this kind of nice, refreshing, kind of cooling sensation almost when you apply it, which is really nice. It's just a very comfortable, easy to wear sunscreen that is totally layerable. And I really like it because it's something you can go to Walgreens or Rite Aid or Target or Walmart and pick it up for under 10 bucks. And it comes in 73 milliliters. So a traditional or a typical sunscreen size is going to be 50. So this is such a good value. I could see some people with oily skin still not liking the kind of greasy, I don't think it's greasy, but I could see some people finding it to be too heavy initially, but like I said, it does dry down to kind of a satiny finish, but it still might be too much for some people. Those with dry skin will probably not have any issue with it, but the thing that sold me on it most is the fact that it does dry down to a nice satin finish, but it's not like matte and it's not powdery. I'm not a big fan of those types of sunscreens. And even though, of course, on camera it's gonna look extra shiny, and I just put it on, so it's gonna be a little sheeny, but even that look isn't the end of the world for me, and it really tones down after a little while. But there's just no white cast. It doesn't like a few other sunscreens I've been using from like US brands that are like no white cast. They start to pill up and build like on the lines of my neck, on my forehead. They also start to gather around my eyelids, and this doesn't do that. So I'm very, very happy with the results so far. I've only been using it for about a week, but I could absolutely see this as being a go-to for when I'm hiking or doing more activities that need something a little bit stronger and waterproof and sweatproof. I could absolutely see myself coming back to this. So yeah, I am absolutely a major fan of this, and it's something I will most likely be coming back to, or at least having on my list as a recommendation for when you're in a bind and you just need to grab something on the way to the lake or on the way to the beach or on the way to the pool, and you're just swinging by Walmart or Target and you just, there's all those sunscreens and you're like, I just need to pick one, I need it to work. This is a really good option, at least for me. Similar skin type, like I said, maybe those with more oily skin might not appreciate this kind of slight, I don't want to say it's even greasy because it's already starting to absorb. It just feels great. I really like it. It's not a dewy, watery finish like the Klairs Soft Airy UV Essence. It isn't super watery. It has, even though this is oil-free, it almost feels a little oily. So that's kind of the result I'm seeing, but like I said, it's more just cosmetic and it doesn't feel uncomfortable. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. It's been a while since I've gone on a hike with everyone and done a photo shoot, so I was very excited to get back outside. But if you saw any of your favorites, any of the photos, or you have recommendations for your favorite sunscreens, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, be on the lookout for Supergoop reviews over the next few months, because I'm going to be going through each one of these products throughout the rest of the summer, taking some of them with me on vacation and doing some kind of, travel reviews, those types of things. So be on the lookout for those. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay glowing. Wait, before you go, right as I was finishing the video and finished recording, doorbell rang and I got a little box from Supergoop. So I figure I'll do a quick unboxing. I'm gonna make it quick. I know what it is, just a couple things. So from Supergoop, I got Sample, which is their Petal Spa Oil to Foam Cleanser. I tried this one from Maman. I didn't like it, so this will probably be a giveaway. I also got the Klairs Midnight Blue Calming Sheet Mask. Threw that in there because I haven't used this in a very long time. So I wanted to come back to it because a lot of people still rave about this product and really, it keeps popping up on favorites lists. So I wanted to give it another shot. I've kind of toned down shopping for sheet masks. I really don't buy much anymore. I'll usually just get one to either round out free shipping or something along those lines. So I ended up with one of these from Klairs. And then the main event is two products. This is the Juice to Cleanse Water Wash Balm and the Juice to Cleanse Clean calming clean water. That's what it is. I was like, what does that say? It's my focus is terrible on this phone. But these are two of some of the newer curations from Supergoop. They came out a couple weeks ago, and I was actually in the market for a new micellar or cleansing water, and I can always use another cleansing balm. I checked with Supergoop. These are both pH balance products, which I was curious about because they didn't list it initially, and it looks like this is a watery cleansing balm that melts away makeup on skin, so it's almost like a water to balm or like a balm to water. Very interesting concept, but it uses papaya in it as well, so I think it might have some brightening effect, but it just looked like a very interesting brand, and I hadn't really seen this brand before, Juice to Cleanse. And this uses, I believe, coconut water, and I'm currently using the coconut oil cleansing pads and the coconut water cleansing foam from the brand Solved Skincare, and I am, spoilers, in love with that brand thus far. So be on the lookout for those reviews from Solved Skincare. I'm so happy with that stuff. It's incredible. So yeah, two fairly new releases from Supergoop from the brand Juice to Cleanse. So I'm looking forward to giving those a try. Okay, that really is the end. Bye, bye, bye.